You know what I find interesting? Nick Cannon praising Donald Trump, but I would be willing to take a very educated and calculated guess that if not now, at some point, one of the households that he has created with these caramel color looking women that he's procreated with the exception of Mariah Carey and the twins, you can't tell me that they are not either one going to qualify for some type of social support program or they won't need some type of social support program in the future, because let's not forget that Cannon has a health condition that he could have genetically passed to his kids, or the kid. You just never know. You just never know what kids might need as they age and what type of social supports that they need. Social supports that Trump and his whole administration have basically eviscerated and basically are trying to. They've taken money, millions of dollars, and diverted it away from those types of services and have privatized them and given them to different contracts with their friends and stuff. And I say this because it's been reported. Didn't one of his baby mothers get on a podcast recently and say how, I don't think she's talked about Nick as a father in reference to money, but she talked about Nick as a father. She either talked about Nick as a father in reference to him not being there and spending time with the kids, or painting the picture that all of the baby mothers, minus Mariah Carey, they're not this harem or collective of women who are raising these kids as a village. It's basically single women scattered across the country, basically raising Nick's kids on their own. So it's not this, and to me that signals that if they are not doing it, that they're going to need help at some point. They might have to rely on some type of social services, whether it's getting on food stamps, or even, we don't even have to think about it in those terms. If the kids have special needs while they're in school, the, I don't know if those social services still exist because Trump has basically eviscerated the Department of Education. But a lot of federal funding came into schools to help students, whether it's through a food program or some type of mental or social support. Like, you're sitting here cheering this man and cheering his administration, but then at the same time you're creating all of these homes with all of these single women that are scattered, that don't have access to you and don't have time with you, and you're creating these homes where these kids and these mothers might have to rely on these same services at some point in the future. So it just is really crazy to me, and Nick Cannon can't disappoint me anymore. That I have no expectation from Nick Cannon. I just wish more people would think before they speak, especially in reference to Trump and just a horrible job that he's currently doing as the president of the United States. But these are some of my thoughts. We know Nick Cannon is not going to shut up, but it's just like, the kids will grow up and the kids will be able to speak about their real experience with you. And some of these baby mothers are starting to smell the bath salts and come back to the light and tell their experience of what it's really like to be one of Nick's baby mothers. So that's all that I have to say.